Good morning, students. In yesterday class, we studied about the Hershey and Chase experiments. In that experiment, there is an unequivocal proof. The basic genetic material is the DNA. So after that, we discussed about the properties of the DNA. There is a DNA versus RNA and RNA world. Today, our discussion starts with DNA replication. So Watson Crick proposed a double helix model structure of the DNA. The same time, they revealed DNA replication also. So based on that, the DNA replication or the duplication is an autocatalytic process. It is a semi-conservative process. Okay, it is an autocatalytic process and semi-conservative process. That means before that, we have to know the complementary and template strands. Okay, in the DNA, we find the two strands. The two strands are arranged in anti-parallel manner. Already we know. Okay, these two strands are arranged in anti-parallel manner. So if we know the structure of one strand, automatically we know the structure of other strand. Okay, this is a complementary base pairing. Complementary base pairing means not identical actually. Okay, in this you observe, so this is the one strand of DNA. Then we have to write the next strand structure. Okay, here A always pairs with T, G always pairs with C, C always pairs with G. That means if we know the structure of one strand, automatically we know the structure of other strand. That is the complementary base pairing rule. Okay. Now, in this, there is a template strand. The term is the template. Template means you observe the two strands. These are the two strands of the DNA. These two strands, when undergoes replication, that means duplication. Okay, it will be doubles. First of all, the two strands will be separated. The hydrogen bonds broken and the two strands will be separated. In replication mechanism, the two strands have the capability. To synthesize a new strand or the daughter strand. Okay, this is the template strand manner. Okay, so this is the first strand. Okay, these are the two parental strands. When these strands are separate, each strand will synthesize a new DNA strand like this. Okay, each strand will synthesize a new DNA strand. That means two strands have the capability to synthesize a new strand, that is the template strand. Okay, both the strands are template strands in DNA replication. Okay, so these two are the basic things for the DNA replication. Now, this DNA replication is an autocatalytic process or the semi-conservative process. That means in DNA strands, each strand generates its copies. Okay, each strand generates its own copies. That is the autocatalytic process. Okay, when the strand generates its own copies, that is the autocatalytic process. Now, the DNA replication is a semi-conservative method of replication. Okay, DNA replication is a semi-conservative method of replication. Okay, here you see, these two strands will generate the new strands. That means in these two DNAs, one of the strand is the parental strand, other strand is the new strand. One of the strand is the parental strand, other strand is the new strand. Okay. That means half of the DNA strand belongs to the parent, half of the DNA strand is the new strand. Okay, that means in these two DNAs, one is the parental strand, one is the new strand. So this type of replication method we are called as semi-conservative method of replication. Okay, the DNA replication is the semi-conservative method of replication. So this semi-conservative method of replication was proved by Matthew Meselson and Stahl. Okay, semi-conservative method, there is an experimental proof, that is by Matthew Meselson and Franklin Stahl. Okay, so in 1958, they did an experiment. In 1958, they did an experiment again in the bacteria. Okay, there is a bacteria that is Escherichia coli. So by using this bacteria, they did an experiment. By that experiment, just there is a proof the DNA replication is a semi-conservative method of replication. Okay, so for that, the experimental material is the Escherichia coli. Other requirements, in these experiments, they took N15 heavy isotope containing NH4Cl. Okay, N15 heavy isotope, not radioactive isotope actually here, heavy. Okay, that is N15 NH4Cl. The chemical substance, Escherichia coli is the bacterium. So there is an cesium chloride density gradient. In the centrifugation process, they use cesium chloride density gradient for the separation of the strands. Okay, for that, this Escherichia coli bacterium, first they grew in N15 NH4Cl containing medium. Okay, in these experiments, first they grew the Escherichia coli in NH4Cl, that is N15 heavy, you cannot light. Okay, N15 NH4Cl containing medium, this is the, so in this they grew the Escherichia coli for few generations. Okay, the medium is the only NH415, okay, heavy. After few generations, they select these bacteria by using cesium chloride density gradient. They separate the bacteria. Okay, there are some normal bacteria, there are some modified bacteria. They separate the bacteria by using cesium chloride density gradient. Okay, that means in these, the medium is the N15 only, N15 NH4Cl. That's why this N15 will be incorporated into Escherichia coli components which is having a nitrogen. Okay, either DNA or other compounds, those N15 will be incorporated into Escherichia coli DNA and other nitrogen containing compounds. Okay, now you see, whenever this separates by using cesium chloride density gradient, so this is the heavy DNA. That means this is the parent strand. When after the culture, they get only N15 heavy isotope containing DNA strands. Both the strands are with N15 because the medium is only heavy. Okay, so after few generations, they get N15 containing DNA strands, that is the heavy DNA. All strands containing N15 heavy DNA. Okay, So if they absorb those DNA strands with N15, that is we are called as heavy DNA. This is the first step. The next step, again these strands will grow in a medium. That medium is the N14, not heavy, N14 NH4Cl containing medium. In the next generation, this heavy DNA containing bacteria, they will transfer into light medium, that is with NH4Cl with N14. Okay, now the Escherichia coli transferred into this culture medium. Okay, then after few generations, this is 20 minutes, for every 20 minutes there is a generation. Okay, after 20 minutes, what they observed actually, these two DNA strands will synthesize the new strands. The medium is only NH4N14, not N15. The strands are the N15 strands. So that's why at the replication time, these two strands will be separate. One strand is the parental strand, that is the N15. The new strand will containing N14. The new strand with N14. Again, this is the parental strand N15 and the new strand is the N14. That means in these two DNA strands or in these two daughter DNA strands, what you observe actually, this is the heavy DNA containing DNA. When it undergoes replication in the medium, that is N14 medium, the new DNA strands containing heavy light DNAs. Okay, all strands contain N15, N14 DNAs. Okay, one strand is the parental strand, other one is new. One strand is the parental strand, other one is new. So this N15 synthesize the new strand, that is N14, because of N14 is the medium. Again N15 synthesize the new DNA strand, the N14 is the medium. That means in the next step or in the first generation DNA molecules or the hybrid DNAs, that is heavy light DNAs. Okay, that is heavy light DNAs. When we separate the DNA strands of the bacteria in cesium chloride density gradient, just you observe, this is the heavy. Okay, compare with the heavy, this is light. So that's why the sedimentation process you observe. Okay, this is completely at the base. This is just upside. N15, N14, that is the hybrid DNA. Again, after 40 minutes, there is a generation. After 40 minutes, same medium, that is the N14 medium. Again, there is no repetition of N15. Only the first generation medium is the N15. Remaining medium completely N14 medium. Just you observe clearly. So after 40 minutes, they grow this bacteria in N14 medium. Again N14 medium. Now you observe these DNA strands will synthesize the new strands. Second generation you observe. So this is the parental strand. This is the parental strand. Okay, this parental strand will synthesize the new strand, that is N14 only, because of the medium is N14. Okay, one is the parental strand, other one is the new strand. Now you observe. Okay. Then these heavy light DNA, both are undergoes replication. Because of both act as a template strand. Okay, this heavy DNA first undergoes replication, form N14. Again N14 also involved in this. N14 also involved. Yes, you see. Okay, again N15 with N14. Okay, again. Okay, this strand forms new strand. This strand also forms a new strand. This strand also forms the new strand. This strand also produces a new strand. That means 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 new DNA strands will be synthesized, or new DNAs will be synthesized In this you observe clearly, there is a semi-conservative method of replication. Okay, one of the strand is the old strand, other strand is the new strand. The medium just you observe with N14. That's why the new strand always will be N14. Okay, so that means 50% of the strands containing N14, that means light DNA. Okay, 50% of the strands with light DNA. Just you observe clearly. This is the light DNA. So this is also light DNA. Other 50% of the strands are the hybrid DNAs, heavy light DNA. This is also heavy light DNA. Okay, 50% of the strands, heavy light DNAs are the hybrid DNAs, 50% of the light DNAs. Now, the sedimentation process you observe in the centrifugation. So this is the hybrid DNA, compared with this is very light. That's why this is the condition. Okay, so based on this, just the DNA replication always is a semi-conservative method of replication. So that's why always one strand is parental strand, other strand is new strand. New strand always will contain N14 medium. Okay. Then we go for the third generation. We go for the third generation also. You observe third generation. In third generation, what happens? That is for 60 minutes. Okay, that is for 60 minutes. In third generation, what happens? The heavy or the hybrid DNA percent will be decreased. The hybrid DNA percentage will be decreased. Just you only say hybrid DNA percentage will be decreased from 50 to 25%. The light DNA percentage will be increased because of the light DNA medium is the N14 medium. So that is from 50% to 75%. Okay, hybrid DNA percentage will be decreased from 50 to 25%. Then the light DNA percentage will be increased from 50 to 75% in the third generation for 60%. Again for the 18 minutes you say. Again for the 18 minutes also. Just you calculate. Okay, again for the 80 minutes. Okay, then you say 87.5% this light DNA, the remaining percentage is the hybrid DNA. So how this happens actually? The percentage of the DNA will be, heavy DNA will be decreased. That means hybrid DNA will be decreased. The light DNA will be increased. Because of the medium is N14, by the semi-conservative method only this process happens. Okay, there is a 1:3%, 1:7%. Continuously, the hybrid DNA percentage will be decreased. So, based on this, okay, up to second generation, just we draw here. Now, you take the third generation. You take the third generation. Okay, this strand N15. Okay, again this strand N14. Okay, these two strands N14, N14. Okay, again you take N14, 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 N14. Okay, this strand is the new strand, this strand is the new strand. Okay, again you take N15, N14. Like almost 8 DNA molecules will be synthesized. In that only 2 are the heavy light DNAs, remaining 6 are the light DNAs. Okay, based on this, the percentage of the hybrid DNA will be decreased. The percentage of the light DNA will be increased by the process of semi-conservative method. Okay, so this is the experimental proof by Matthew Meselson and Franklin Stahl in 1958. So after that, there is a conclusion: the DNA replication is compulsory. It is a semi-conservative method of replication. Okay, so now we start actual process of replication. Okay, next we will continue the replication process, that is method of replication or DNA replication process. So in eukaryotes, at the time of cell division, in interphase stage, there is a G1 phase, S phase, G2 phase. In this, S phase is the important phase. Already we know This is the synthesis phase. Okay, in this synthesis phase, the DNA undergoes replication. In this synthesis phase, the DNA undergoes replication. After DNA replication only, there is a formation of daughter cells. Okay, after DNA replication, if there is no cell division, okay, after DNA replication, if there is no cell division, then what happens actually? There is an polyploidy condition. That is an polyploidy condition. Compulsory, after DNA replication, there is a cytoplasmic division. So when only we get the new daughter cells, but if there is an absence of cell division, we find this polyploidy condition in the cells. Okay, so this is the DNA replication process, the steps which are involved in the replication mechanism. So in this, first we require the substrates actually. Those substrates are the deoxyribonucleotides. These deoxyribonucleotides just first activate. Okay, in DNA replication mechanism, new nucleotides will be added. Okay, replication means what? Polymerization. Okay, so the new strand will be synthesized means what? Number of nucleotides will be joined continuously like this. Okay, so joining of new nucleotides or the addition of new nucleotides and synthesize a polymerized chain. Okay, synthesize a polynucleotide chain. So synthesis of new polypeptide chain from pre-nucleotides, simply it is called as polymerization. In this polymerization mechanism, what is the first step actually? What is the substrate? Number of new nucleotides will be added. But directly these nucleotides will not be added. First of all, we activate the nucleotides. For that, we use some enzymes and energy sources. Then, exposure of DNA strands. In DNA replication mechanism, actually starts at a particular point. So that particular point we are called as ori site or origin of replication. Origin of replication. Okay, the DNA replication starts at a particular point. That point we are called as origin of replication. So from this replication point only, the DNA will start its replication mechanism. So this ori site will be utilized. This is the ori site. This ori site will be used in recombinant DNA technology in plasmid. Okay, this plasmid acts as a vector actually. We insert the foreign gene in this plasmid at ori site. Then only the replication will be continued. Okay. So that's why the ori site is the most important. So this is the starting point of DNA replication. Okay. In replication mechanism, actually this replication process is the highly accuracy process, highly expensive process. High energy will be required for this replication mechanism. Without any mistakes, the DNA replication will be continued almost. Okay, if there is a mistake, if there is an error in DNA replication, that is the mutation, I think. Okay, so that's why without any mistakes, it is a highly accuracy process. That means highly accurate process, high energy expensive process. Okay, so that's why at a time the total length of DNA will not be separate. Okay, at a time the total length of DNA will not be separate. It will be separate at stretch wise. Okay. Small portion of the DNA will be separate. Okay. So in prokaryotic organisms, this origin of replication, in prokaryotic organisms actually the DNA will be circular. When the replication starts, only there is a single ori site. In prokaryotic organisms, there is only single origin of replication sites. Okay. In eukaryotic organisms, the length of the DNA is very much long actually. So that's why number of oocytes will be found in eukaryotic organism, that is multiple oocytes we observed in eukaryotic DNA strands. So here the oocytes in prokaryotes only one, in eukaryotes these oocytes many. Okay, multiple original replication sites will be observed. Okay, this replication direction, whether it may be unidirectional or bidirectional, most of the time from the replication point it will be bidirectional actually. Okay. For example, the prokaryotic organism Escherichia coli, the nitrogen base pairs are the 4.6 into 10 to the power 6 base pairs. When we compare with the diploid human content DNA, that is 6.6 into 10 to the power 9 base pairs. Okay, this 4.6 into 10 to the power 6 base pairs DNA will multiply, undergoes replication within 38 minutes. Compare with the diploid human content DNA, complete the replication within 38 minutes. Okay, till the end it will take 38 minutes actually. Okay, then in 38 minutes it is a highly accuracy process per second. That means when we take the average rate, so approximately the average speed of this replication per second, 2000 base pairs will be synthesized. 2000 base pairs will be synthesized with high accuracy level without any mistakes. Okay. So this is the replication site in DNA replication mechanism. So after exposure of DNA strands in DNA replication, so okay, nucleotides will be activated, but there is another important phenomenon. The new strand will be synthesized in the replication mechanism. Before that, the DNA strands will be separate. I already said it is a high energy expensive process, but at a time that much length of the DNA will not be separate. Okay, in short segments only the DNA will be separate. Okay, in short point of view, the DNA the strands will be separate in step by step manner. Okay, the total length of DNA at a time will not be separate. Okay, in replication mechanism, after substrates, just we separate the DNA strands. For the separation of DNA strands, there is a lot of enzymes required. We will discuss. Then in DNA replication mechanism, the most important enzyme for the replication process is the DNA dependent DNA polymerase. Okay, the most important enzyme for the polymerization, that is DNA dependent DNA polymerase. Okay, this DNA polymerase will be involved in the polymerization mechanism, but this polymerase will be involved in the elongation process only. It will not be initiated, just clearly you observe. Okay, if there is a polymerization, the DNA dependent DNA polymerase will be involved, but this DNA polymerase will not be initiate the replication process. Only it will be involved in the elongation process. How the replication will be initiated? Then what is the requirement of initiation? That means a primer, that is RNA primer. Okay, RNA primer will be required for the initiation of replication. Okay, in the presence of primase enzyme, the RNA primer will be synthesized. It will be contains almost 10 nucleotides. It is a small segment. It is an RNA strand. Okay, by using RNA primer, there is an initiation of the new DNA strand. Okay, that's why the RNA primer also required in this. Okay. So here we discuss RNA polymerase and DNA dependent DNA polymerase. Then after these three, there is an base pairing process, chain elongation process, there is a final proof. So all these in step by step manner we will discuss in our next class. Okay, this is very important topic. Listen carefully. Okay.